you want to change your life, you have to change your brain. You've heard it before, but I'm going to tell you again, your thoughts do matter. So the big question is this: how do you change what you're thinking about? Today, I'm going to dive deep into the 7 mindsets that will take you from wimp to warrior in just 52 days. No one said it's going to be easy, but I'm telling you it's going to be worth it. Here we go. Hey, Louise Thaxton here, and wow, welcome to episode 2 of the Wimp to Warrior podcast. I'm excited to share with you today just an overview of the 7 mindsets that it takes to really go from wimping out on everything you've always wanted, everything you've always dreamed of, but you wouldn't go forward with it. You wimped out to warrioring up, and to where you can really become a warrior. Whatever that is, that goal, that dream, that mission that you've wanted, we're going to show you how you can go wimp to warrior in 52 days. But it takes 7 mindsets. You see, I'll talk about this big word called neuroplasticity. And it's literally where you are rewiring some neural pathways in your brain. Now, you know what? I'm not a scientist. I don't even play one on TV. But here's what I know is that we create habits. We do. Well, let's just think about this. There's an ancient Chinese proverb that says, sow a thought, now sow, S-O-W, sow a thought, plant a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. So your thoughts matter. And what we're going to talk about is how do you change what you're thinking about? And how do you go from wimping out on all those goals, dreams, missions, everything you've always wanted to do, or maybe it's that one thing you've always wanted to do, but you wimped out and you've landed on this podcast. And here are 7 mindsets. Now, I'm not telling you that it's going to be easy. I'm just telling you it's going to be worth it. When you spend the time and you take 52 days and we build out these 7 mindsets, habits of thinking, habitudes, let's get started. The first one is the mindset or the habitude of purpose. Now, you hear a lot these days about thinking about your purpose and thinking about your why. But let me just say this, that's the calling on your life. You know, I said in that first podcast, you were created to be a warrior, but something happened along the way. Someone told you something different. Maybe it was your 2nd grade school teacher that told you would, she didn't think you'd ever amount to anything. Or maybe it was your high school basketball coach that said, you know what, you just need to get out of sports. Whatever it is, I just want you to go back and think about what you were called to do. I believe every human being has a special call on their life. And that doesn't mean that we're all going to be, scientists and we're going to develop a cure for cancer, even though I hope some of you are. You may be a mother and you're called to spend your time and raise your children to where they know they're loved and they're beautiful and they grow up to be warriors. You may be a dad that's working a job. You're not an entrepreneur, but you are called to help raise that family and raise those young children into amazing citizens. Your purpose, your calling is the number 1 mindset. Now, I talk about purpose and your calling and your why. You've got to do it on purpose. In other words, you've got to be intentional. So when we start this whole 52-day journey, you're going to have to be intentional on a daily basis as you build these new habits of thinking, these new neural pathways in your brain. Look, if you want to change your life, you got to change your brain. Now, a lot of people say, what? I thought you'd had to change your mind. No, you need to change your brain. But to change your brain, you're going to change your mind and your habits of thinking. Your thoughts are actually, this is an amazing thought, but if you read Caroline Leaf's books, she is a neuroscientist and she is amazing. Your thoughts are actually their geography in this brain up here. Your thoughts are building, if you think of your thoughts like trees, there's forests that are being built in your brain. So when you think about your purpose and you think on purpose, and many of you may not have thought about it for months or even years because you put it out of your mind and you thought, I can never accomplish that. Well, I'm here to tell you you can. That's the number one mindset, is to think about your purpose and you're thinking on purpose. Now, the second mindset, it's crucial. It's called the mindset of possibility. I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. And maybe people have told you couldn't, but I'm here to tell you you can. That mindset of possibility really takes a positive mindset, a positive mental attitude. Now, how do you get a possibility mindset, and how do you start thinking positive if you're a negative thinker? Well, number one, I'm just going to share with you that Charlie Tremendous Jones, he has since passed away, but he was an amazing author and speaker, and he always said the difference between where you are today and where you'll be in 5 years are the people you meet and the books you read. So I want you to examine that. What books are you reading? Now you're saying, well, I'm not reading books. Well, okay, we're going to change that, and you're going to start reading some possibility, some positive books that will help you to achieve this big, amazing goal, mission, dream that you have. You say, what are the books? You know what? There's a book list that'll be on this website, and in the link below, you'll find that list of books. But also look at who you are hanging out with. Think about that. Now, I'm not telling you to go and divorce your spouse or, get rid of your kids or get rid of your best friends. But listen, you need to hang around with positive people and people who are going to encourage you. So possibility mindset, when you start to read books and hang around with people that say, yes, you can, yes, you will, your brain is going to start to create those neural pathways. Now, I'll tell you a good book right now, and it's a great one to start, and that's The Greatest Salesman in the World. It's a tiny little book, and it has some scrolls at the end, and I would just suggest is, hey, start with that book. It won't take you long, but it is about positive mindset. The third mindset is the mindset of passion. Now, you say, well, I can't really get worked up about it because I don't really, I want to see some results before I get all fired up. Folks, don't wait to get fired up to start doing the action. When you start doing the actions, and we'll talk about that when we go to the next mindset, but when you start doing the actions and doing the work, reading the books, writing down some of the positive affirmations, you're going to start to get fired up when you start to do the work. You've got to get up, you got to gear up, you got to show up, and you've got to make some actions. And as you are physically getting up and physically writing down some of the positive affirmations, then you're going to start to feel the passion. Don't wait to feel the passion before you do the work. You do the work, you'll feel it. You'll start to feel the fire. You know what? A lot of you have head knowledge, or maybe you had a fire in your heart and it got snuffed out. Someone did it, something happened, and you can't feel passion about this project anymore, this big dream. But what I'm telling you, folks, is you were called to do that. You were called. There's no one else in the world that's going to do what you specifically have been called to do. So the world is waiting on you. Listen to me. The world is waiting on you for what you have to give. And I want you to understand that when you start to read the books and you start to listen to podcasts that tell you, yes, you can. Yes, you were created for a purpose. Yes, it is possible. You're going to get fired up. Now, the fourth mindset, crucial, is having a plan, a mindset of a plan. You see, a lot of times we have those first three mindsets. I mean, we feel like we've got a calling and we believe it's possible and we're all fired up, but then we're running around willy-nilly and we don't have a plan for how we're going to accomplish that mission. What you have to do, and here's what I suggest, go buy a blank journal. Now, you know what? You can go to the dollar store and get a notebook for all I care. I like a leather journal, but you do whatever you do you. And I want you're going to document this 52-day journal. This 52-day journey. You're going to document the journey. And in this, you're going to write part of the plan. Part of this plan is how you're going to operate your day. So every day, you're going to, I want to write this down. There's 4 R's. This is what you're going to do in your journal. Number 1, write these 4 words: read, reflect, record, rewire. So as you are reading these books or listening to podcasts, and I say read, but if you listen, I will say it helps better if you got a paper book and you've got a pen in your hand and you're writing and you're marking and you're owning that book, I'm saying. But even if you're just listening to it, okay, but you're going to read something every morning. You're going to reflect on what you read, even if you just read 1 page. Now, I would recommend more. But reflect. How could this impact me today? How could this help me to rewire my thinking? The third one is record, and that's where you're going to write down your thoughts, your feelings, what you're thinking about for the day. Record 7 things you're going to do before 11 o'clock. Oh, I know, that's a lot. 7 things you're going to do before 11 o'clock that's going to take you to the accomplishment that's going to help you to accomplish this mission. So read, reflect, record, quotes, but also actions. 7 things you're going to do before 11 o'clock. Why before 11 o'clock? Because you need to get up, gear up, and show up, folks. You can put it off until it's 5 o'clock and it's the end of the day and you haven't done it. And let you say, well, what do I do? Most of us do. We know what it takes to accomplish the goal. We're just not doing it. We already know what it takes, but we're just not doing it. So you write down 7 things. And then the 4th one is rewire. And this is where you literally are going to rewire your brain. When you start to have these thoughts of, well, I can't take the time to write this down. Remember, you have the mindset of a plan. And when you have a plan, you're writing it down. You're going to start every day with a journal, with a pen, and you're going to know before you ever step out into the world what you're going to get accomplished for the day. And as I'm telling you what, those endorphins are going to be released as you start to check off those 7 things that you get done by 11 o'clock. That's going to do a lot to fuel the passion, folks. Because all of a sudden you're writing down stuff and you're checking it off and you're moving forward. You go, oh, I see how this works. When you have a plan for the day, then it puts the other 3, the purpose, the possibility, the passion, and you have a plan. I mean, you are moving forward. At the end of the day, now this is where when you start this morning, that's great. But let's just say at the end of this day, I want you to look in your journal, whatever you use, your planner. I use 1 book. I use 1 journal. I use it for everything. My to-do list, my want-to-be list, my quotes, everything is in one place. I do, but you do you. At the end of the day, folks, write down, look at your list, and I want you to see, what did I not get accomplished today that I need to move to tomorrow? And then I want you to write down at the end of that first day, everything you're going to do by tomorrow at 11 o'clock. You go, why am I doing this? As you start to literally take it off of your brain and put it on paper, some of it may be like you want to reach out to Sally Smith. And you write it down. You're going to reach out. You're going to call Sally Smith tomorrow. And then you're going to write a letter to, Bob Jones. You write those things down. As you get it off of your brain, that gives your brain time to relax, and then to release some creativity. Your brain never sleeps. Now you sleep, but your brain doesn't sleep. And so when you go to sleep and you've written it all down on paper, you may wake up tomorrow and go, you know what? I'm not going to call Sally. I'm going to call Susie. Sally's not going to be the contact I need. I need to call Susie. I want you to understand your brain is working on your list as you sleep. Then when you get up in the morning and you start the day, you've got a plan for the day. Now, the fifth mindset, and this is crucial because I'm going to tell you, there is an enemy called chaos. And when you have a purpose and a calling and you believe it's possible and you're fired up and passionate about it and you've got a written plan, you need the mindset of priority because chaos will come against you. There'll be all types of distractions. Well, I can't do that. Well, I don't have time to write this morning. Well, I can't read. Those are distractions. They're keeping you from your mission. You need the mindset of priority. I do not believe in time management. I do not believe it's even possible. Folks, you get the same 24 hours that I do, that the President of the United States does, that the governor of your state does, that, anyone on the planet gets the same 24 hours. You can't manage time. All you can do is manage you and what is important to you. This morning as I was getting ready and hustling, bustling, and I was getting to the office for this podcast, I can tell you 47 things told me, just put it off. Don't do it today. Don't go there. But it is a mindset of priority that goes, no, I put a stake in the ground. I'm going to get this done. It is a mindset. These are my priorities. I know what my priorities are because you see, I have a purpose. I know it's possible. I'm fired up and passionate about it. I've got a plan. And then I set my priorities. The sixth one is perseverance. Now, it's all good for the day 1 and day 2 and day 3 and day 10. But you know what? I'm trying to go to 52 days. And about day 17, I'm thinking, I'm tired of this. You'll think, I'm tired of this. I don't want to do this anymore. Now, maybe you have heard that it takes 21 days to create a habit. Actually, it takes longer than that. And Caroline Leaf, and I referred to her before as an author and as a neuroscientist, she actually says it takes 21 days to get started, then it takes another 21 days to seal it. Now, I'm talking 52 days. Now, I'm not, you'll hear 50 days, you'll hear 60 days, you'll hear 70 days. I've said 52 days, and let me tell you what, 21 days to start the habit, 21 more to seal it, that's 42 days, and then 10 days to where it becomes automatic. Now, this morning, probably everyone listening to this podcast brushed your teeth, or I hope you did. I hope you brushed your teeth. I hope you took a shower last night or this morning. Maybe you didn't, but most people have that habit, but you never think about it. It's not something that you stop and think, well, should I brush my teeth this morning? Or should I take a shower? Or should I wash my hair? Or should I? No, because those are ingrained. And that has happened from years of you doing the same thing over and over and over again. The same thing with driving your car. You didn't think about how to get to work or how to go to the grocery store or how to go to the department store because you just got in your vehicle and started going. And you know what I'm talking about because all of us, you're going to go to work tomorrow, this morning, and you think, but I need to, before you leave the house, but I need to stop by, and it's a different path that you normally take. Like, I need to go by this store before I go to the office. Then suddenly you're at the office. You forgot to go by the store. Why? Because your brain was geared. You knew every turn that you were going to take to get to your office. Or you knew it because you didn't have to think about it. You didn't GPS to your office. But you didn't have that other little stop programmed in. That comes from perseverance, folks. That comes from doing it again. And I'm just going to say this, 52 days you can go from Wimp to Warrior, but there are some habits that are so ingrained that you may have to do it another 52 days. It may take a while. There are some habits that are just, maybe they've been with you 20 years or 30 years or 40 years. These may be strongholds on you. It may take more than 3 books to get you to think impossible. That first year when I changed my mind, I determined I would read 100 books, and I did. I read 100 books that first year that I was doing the transformation of my mind. If you want to transform your life, you've got to transform your brain, and your brain needs new information that comes from books, that comes from people. And I will add one more thing on books, on the people. if there is someone, and this goes back to the possibility thinking, if there's someone you know who has accomplished what you want to accomplish, seek to have a conversation with them. I mean, if it's, for me, I sought out someone who was in a small town who had achieved massive success in the industry that I'm in, and he had achieved massive success, and I spent 2 days with him. And then when I left that, a loan officer who works for me, who's also my son-in-law, I shared with him, I said, if he can do it, we can too. And he goes, well, I don't know. And I go, why not? Why can't we do it? If we do the same steps and we do it in the same manner he did. So find someone, if you want to write a book, find someone who's written a book and do with that. If you want to do a podcast, find someone who's done a podcast and say, here's the steps. If you want to lose weight, find someone who's lost weight or join a group. And you see, well, they did it. Why can't I do it? Persevere, folks, and that will happen with the books you read, the people you meet, and the actions you take every day. And the last one, the last one, the mindset of being a promise keeper. Now, when I say this, everybody probably thinks of a time when they broke a promise to someone. And I'm going to say the biggest promises that we break are to ourselves. And right now, you're thinking, you know what? I've tried to achieve this before. I didn't do it. And you have this, it's a negative thought process because you thought, you know what? I didn't do it before. I broke the promise to myself. What I'm going to tell you is right now, I want you to find a piece of paper. Don't do it if you're driving. Okay, don't. If you're driving and listen to this, don't be writing. But as soon as you get to a place, I want you to write down, I forgive myself. As you're driving along, say those words out loud. I forgive myself. I promised myself that I would achieve this goal. I promised myself that I would lose this weight. I promised myself that I would make more money. I promised myself I would pay bills and save money and do better and be a better dad, be a better spouse, be a better friend. I promised myself, and I broke that promise. What I'm telling you today is day one, and it is a new day. And we're going to start fresh, and you're going to go from wimping out to being a warrior, and it's going to start with you forgive yourself. I forgive myself. And today I will go forward. I will be a warrior. I will be a person who operates on purpose for my purpose to accomplish my calling. I will be a person who believes in the possibility because I know I am the person called to accomplish this mission. I will be fired up about this because I know that is the fuel that's going to propel me forward. I will have a plan. I will operate on that plan. I will write it down, and then I'll operate with what I have written down, and I will get it accomplished day by day by day, hour by hour by hour, minute by minute by minute. Because I have a mindset of priorities, and I set my priorities, and I don't let chaos and distractions and apathy and procrastination keep me from accomplishing my goals. And I will do it today, and I will do it tomorrow, and I will do it on day 14, and I will do it on day 27, and I will do it all the way to day 52 because I am a promise keeper. I have a mindset of purpose, possibility, passion, plan, priority, perseverance, and I am a promise keeper. And today I make a promise that I will stop wimping out on this amazing calling that I have on my life. I will stop wimping out and I will become a warrior. Folks, you are a warrior, and today is your day.